My name is Jeetinder Berman. I play for Clydesdale second 11 and my position normally is a forward.
Hi Jeetinder. What got you into hockey?
What got me into hockey was actually beforehand. I used to play cricket. It was about 10 years ago. I was playing cricket quite regularly. And there was one night I came down after a night of coaching and I was speaking to like Ewan Fraser, Liam Ken, Kieran Crawford, who's obviously the first team coach, and actually Alan Forsyth, who played for Great Britain, obviously at the time was playing for Kelburn. He was really good pals with Kieran. Ewan Fraser was actually picking a West District indoor team and he was struggling for players, and after a number of times trying to consult with Liam to try and get players, I tried a number of times to try and convince him to pick me just for a laugh. Eventually Alan twisted Ewan's arms and just said, look, just pick him, it's a West District team, it's not going to mean a lot, you've got a strong enough team to win the tournament anyway with me in the team. So Ewan was convinced, picked me for the tournament, and we got all the way to the final, believe it or not, and I actually scored against Western Wildcats. That was my first ever goal, and then when I came back, Kieran was working the bar at the time and gave me a hug. He was delighted that I scored against Western. So yeah, that was how I got into hockey.
What's kept you in hockey?
What's kept me in hockey is it's probably the atmosphere that I've had around, certainly obviously playing alongside the guys that I've had, certainly from all the way from the 7th 11 all the way to second, and obviously a couple of occasions I've had to play for the first 11 and friendlies and stuff like that. Off the field especially, because obviously there's good camaraderie, obviously sitting in the clubhouse and having a few drinks with some of the boys, doesn't matter whether they're old or young, and just on the field as well, there was a lot of an encouraging atmosphere. Nobody was really critical of you, they always encourage you as best they can. That's why I quite enjoyed it, to be honest, and that's why it kept me on.
What would be your message to someone who's trying to break into a higher level team?
Certainly for juniors especially, I always just say any opportunity that you try and get to play, there's always an opportunity to play a game of hockey. Even I know it's not ideal to play in the depths of like Aberdeen or anything like that, or Dumfries, but take anything opportunity you got, because that's an opportunity you have to impress somebody. And when you get onto the pitch, don't think about like, oh, what happens if I make a mistake? Just go out, like, you've got nothing to lose, just go out there and just give it your best shot, and just let the shackles loose, as they say, and just go out there and just give it your best shot, and you never know, you might press. That's kind of how it happened for me, because I started at 21, and obviously for a lot of people they were thinking, oh, I've not really had the junior development, but certainly I impressed enough people to get me up the teams, so that would be what I would encourage to anybody trying to get up the teams.
What do you do to bounce back from a personal performance that you are not happy with?
I certainly take a time to reflect, sometimes more than others, some days more than others. I then generally try to forget about it going into Monday, obviously for the week of training, because at the end of the day your training is the opportunity to try and bounce back and just try and right some wrongs, because at the end of, obviously especially when you go up the teams, you obviously get coaches and captains you try and need to impress and stuff like that, so they'll obviously hopefully try and forget obviously any bad performance you might have had as well. So it's a good opportunity for you to try and think, well, let's put that bad performance behind me and try and impress to get into the team next Saturday. So if anything, I try and work as hard as I can, if not harder than maybe not so much what I did the week before, but certainly try and improve on a disappointing performance.
How do you prepare for a game, firstly the day before and then on the day of the game?
Day before, I don't really do anything too ridiculous. I try to stay away from like anything fast food or anything like that, and I try not to drink anything before the game, and I just generally just try and relax, just try and stay at home and just do my usual thing, and then on the day of a game, again, no different. I try and just eat a good healthy breakfast, and then obviously depending on what time the pushback is, a healthy lunch as well. Again, try and get as much water on board, and again, just try and make sure, also try and get a good night's rest as well, because obviously it's really, I don't want to be coming off the bat. I know it sounds very cliche and obviously we're not professionals and stuff, but I certainly hate personally coming onto a pitch and feeling really leggy and really out of breath and anything like that. So I just try and give myself every chance to come on the pitch and play as well as I can. I just do those things beforehand.
What is the best piece of hockey advice that you've been given?
Best piece of hockey advice I've been given. Obviously, I tend not to do as much as others, because I tend to be quite self-critical of myself. But one piece of advice was actually from Fraser Hurst, who plays in the first team was obviously years ago, and he just said, look, remember, obviously as paying members, we obviously pay to play the sport. We don't get paid like think of footballers and stuff like that. We don't get paid to play, so enjoy it as much as you can. Just enjoy it as much as you can. Doesn't matter whether you're having a difficult 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Just remember what you're out there to do. It's no different certainly for guys who play a lot of five-a-side football. They pay to play. You might as well enjoy it as much as you can and get the best out of it, because at the end of the day, you might not be able to do it for whatever reason.
What has been your biggest hockey achievement to date?
Biggest hockey achievement probably still when I was third 11 captain. That was probably about two years after I started hockey. I was asked by the club to take on the role of third 11 captain. That was quite a big step, because obviously I was still I didn't really have a lot of tactical knowledge in comparison to people like Ali Bleach and Peter Justice, who were playing in the team at that time. I was obviously quite nervous at the time. I was reluctant to actually be captain. But actually was probably still the best season I've ever had. Although we didn't win anything, we went as far as second in the league, and we got to the Scottish Cup reserve final, which we hadn't done that in a number of years, and we still haven't done it to date. We lost 2-0 to a Grange Threes team that play in the same league as our second 11. Before they scored their first goal, we competed as well as anybody, and unfortunately I missed a golden chance at 0-0, but these things happen. But I look back in it although I was disappointed to come out with nothing, I look back in it and I was like, I think back to, I'm like, wow, I was only 2 years into the game and I achieved quite a lot in one season, and still Bleachy especially comes to me and says, that was still one of the best seasons we've ever had. We had such a regular team every week. You can name the players who were playing. It wasn't like one week you've got a group of threes and another week you got a group of fours helping the threes. It was literally the same team, full of juniors, full of senior guys. It was just a great season. I look back in it as well as anything, to be honest. It was just a great time.
Thank you.
No problem.